resource that can really help them solve just an extraordinary number of problems that today we just granted that we can't solve. And so this is a very, very, very big concept, but it is literally happening. And last time I was here, I was pretty sure that this was going to happen. And now with all the advances in the technology, now I'm completely confident that this is happening. And in fact, I think it's essentially already happened.
It's kind of crazy because you weren't here that long ago.
I was not here that long ago. The field
has changed that much.
The field has moved incredibly quickly. Last time I was here probably was not that long after ChatGPT came out, would be my guess, sometime around then. You recall when ChatGPT first came out, the kind of, the thing that was fun about it was it could compose, rap lyrics based on Shakespearean poetry, or it could write a great wedding speech, or do all kinds of fun stuff. But it had all these problems. It hallucinated and it made stuff up, and it wasn't good at logic, and it couldn't do basic math, and it had all these issues. And so people.
It was a baby.
It was a baby. It was a little tiny baby, learning how the world works. The technology advances in the last 3 years have been mind-boggling, crazy, amazing, impressive. And so I actually, people talk about this concept called AGI, which means artificial general intelligence, which basically means that AI is as smart as a person. And I actually think we crossed that about 3 months ago. I think it was with the very latest versions of the models. And one of the reasons people are having I would come back to that. One of the reasons people are having a hard time understanding what's happening in AI is because it's moving so fast that if you don't use the latest thing, you don't know what's happening, because you're not seeing it. So a lot of people use ChatGPT last year before, and they're not actually seeing the new thing.
Right.
The new thing specifically is it's called GPT. I think it's 5.5, and then it's Claude, Anthropic assistant Claude, and that's called 4.6. Is the two release. And then Google has this Gemini, 3.0, and Grok, it's 4.3. So these models all have, in each case, I think with those releases, they kind of hit this threshold. Where all of a sudden, I guess I say this, right, in my line of work, 99% of the time, the answer that I'm getting from AI from the most advanced models is better than I would get from talking to basically almost any expert I have access to. And I have access to, in my job, a lot of experts. So like 99% of the time, I'm getting a better answer from AI. Meaning a better answer means smarter, better analysis. And part of it is what they call fluid intelligence, which is the ability to conceptualize and process information. And part of it is what psychologists call crystallized intelligence, which is just memorization of everything. And so what the AI brings you is it brings you both, because it's smart, but it also knows it's trained on all the data. It's trained on like the complete corpus of human knowledge, right? And so it's a world-class doctor, and a world-class lawyer, and a world-class accountant. Right, and a world-class, political operative if you want to run for city council, and it's a world-class marketing expert if you want to market your podcast, and it's a world-class software coder if you want to write some software code. And so it knows everything about all of these fields all at the same time. And then, of course, it has the huge advantage, and I love people, and I love talking to people. It has the huge advantage of it's endlessly happy to talk to you about anything.
Right.
It doesn't get impatient.
Right.
It doesn't get frustrated. One of the really fun things I do with AI is, I'll ask it a question, I'll get back this complicated answer, and I'll just be like, oh no, this is too complicated for me. Quantum physics or so you say, explain it to me like I'm 10.
Yeah.
And it gives you all the stuff that's like talking to you to understand. All right, this is still confusing. All right, explain it to me like I'm 5. Right. And then at night what I'll do is I'll do that all the way back. And so I do it all the way back. I'll do it, explain it to me like I'm 2. And it's like, well, it uses the metaphors, you know how your mommy and daddy love you, right? And you have a pillow you love to sleep on at night.
Right.
What if that pillow could be in 2 places at once? And so, it is absolutely happy to do this endlessly. I'll give you the medical implications one. I'll give you my personal experience. So over the holiday break, I go on vacation. I immediately get sick. One of those people. So I immediately get food poisoning. And so I know I'm going to have nothing to do for 5 days. So
5 days for food poisoning?
I mean, I don't know. This was rough. This was,
Damn.
This was
Where'd you go?
I will not protect the guilty.
Okay.
I know, but I won't say. So,
tell me later.
So I basically said, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let Dr. GPT take care of it. Right? And I went totally overboard on purpose, and I just basically said, every 20 minutes, I gave it an update of and I'm giving, first one, okay,
diarrhea.
I just had a visit, here's what happened. I didn't do the thing you can do. You can actually send it photos now. I didn't.
Of you poop?
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't do that. Although you can, and it will do that. But I was already nauseous enough. But I gave it like moment to moment updates. And this is like I wake up at 4 a.m, I feel terrible, and it's like I literally typed in it's 4 a.m, I feel terrible. And it was like amazing. It's just like they have like the best doctor in the history of the world who is just like happy to be there at 4 a.m. with people holding their hand to do this. It's just a completely different kind of experience than anybody has ever had in medicine. And then to have the exact same opportunity for anything legal that comes up, and for anything for business, and for anything, by the way, how to parent. I do this all the time. I've got an 11-year-old. Like, all right, what movies should we watch? All right, like which ones are safe? What kinds of content do I want, not want? It's infinitely. It's just like, tell me what the guidelines are. And it's like infinitely sensitive. It gives me. So I want to watch movies with them, and I know there's like 3 scenes in the movie that
I know I said I didn't get. I don't want to get the coin, but I got it. Anyway,
pause it here.
Could you run a movie through it and tell it eliminate those scenes?
Yeah, you can. So you can for sure. I haven't done that. People have done that. That has been done. But yeah, you could do that. You could do that. That would work out. Yeah.
Blur out the nudity.
You could do the blur. You could do the blurring for sure. Yeah, it could definitely do that.
Wow.
But it's just like it's this thing. It requires this kind of mindset change. Maybe 2 parts of the mindset change. One is just realizing what this thing can do, and it's a bit of a black box in the sense of like you can